Alright, this is 2015, May, June, paper 4, variance 1. Let's get started. First question. 12,000 vehicles drive through a road toll on one day. The ratio cars, trucks, motorcycles equal 13 to 8 to 3. Show that 6,500 cars drive through the road toll on that day. Alright. Easy. What you're going to do is 12,000. You can divide 12,000 by the total number of ratio here, which is, if you add all these numbers, all these three numbers, it will get 24. So divide by 24 and you'll get 500. So 500 is the value of 1. And now they want to show that the cars are 6,500, right? And the cars ratio is 13. So we have the value for 1 ratio, so 13 times 500 to find out the value of the cars, number of cars. Turns out to be 6,500. So right shown. Right, done. Next question. Calculate the number of trucks that drive through the road toll on that day. Number of trucks, same thing, same procedure. We have the number for 1 ratio, which is 500. So then the trucks are 8, so 500 times 8. You'll get 4,000 trucks. Alright, the toll charges in 2014 are shown in the table. Show that the total amount paid in tolls on that day is $34,500. So what you're going to do here, first we know the number of cars, which are cars equals 6,500. Trucks are 4,000. And then motorcycles equal, we don't know motorcycles yet, so let's find that quick. Motorcycles are 500 times 3, which is 1,500. So 1,500. So now we know the numbers of each category. Now let's multiply each one by the value here. So cars are $2 each. So times 2. And that would equal 13,000 dollars. And the trucks times 5. That would equal $20,000. Motorcycles times 1, which is $1,500. And now they want the total amount, so you're going to add all these three numbers. 13,000 plus 20,000 plus 1,500. You'd get 34,500. Right shown. Alright, this total amount is a decrease of 8% on the total amount paid on the same day in 2013. Calculate the total amount paid on that day in 2013. So basically, they said that this total amount, which is 34,500, is actually a decrease of 8%. So in other words, it's 92%. So 34,500 is 92%. And now, in order to find 100%, we can use the scissors method, which is 100 times 34,500 divided by 92, and you would get the 100%. The 100% is $37,500. And that's your answer. On to the next question. 2,750 of the 6,500 cars drives pay their toll using a credit card. Write down in simplest form the fraction. So basically they just want you to write the fraction and simplify it to its simplest form. 2,750 over 6,500. Alright, simplify. Divide both by 5 because both numbers are divisible by 5. Divide both by 5 and you'd get 275 over 650. Divide by 5 again, you get 55 over 130. One more time, divide by 5 because they're still divisible by 5. You'll get 11 over 26, and that's your simplest form. Alright, the nearest 90,000 cars drive through the road toll in 1 week. Write down the lower bound for this number of cars. So to the nearest 1,000, that means it's 89,500. Alright, for this one, all you have to do is just substitute the values of x in this equation and find y. I'm not going to do that. And so basically the graph is going to look something like this. And from here, something like this. Yeah, that's what the graph will look like in the end. So by drawing a suitable line, use your graph to solve the equation x squared minus 1 over 2x equals 2. So what we learned from this equation is it's similar to that equation, except it equals 2 and that one equals y. So what we deduce from this is y equals 2. And so draw the line y equals 2 there in the graph. And write down the solutions you got. You got 3 solutions. Find them. These 3 solutions, write them down here. You'd get negative 1.5, 125. Another one is negative 0.25. The last one is 1.52. Alright. And now D, the equation x squared minus 1 over 2 equals k has only one solution. Now pay attention to this, has only one solution. That's the key to this question. Write down the range of values of k for which this is possible. So you go back to the graph. And so if you draw a line here, you get 3 solutions. I mean 2 solutions. One, this one, and this one. If you draw a line like the previous one, y equals 2, you got 3 solutions. 1, 2, 3. So where can you draw only one line and you get one solution? So of course it's going to be somewhere here, under the first graph. Now I only have one solution. So it's going to be from 1.2, something like that, 1.2, downwards. So k is less than 1.2. That's the inequality. 1.2. By drawing a suitable tangent, find an estimate for the gradient of the curve at the point where x equals negative 1. So you go back to the curve. And you see where x equals negative 1. There. So all you have to do here is just draw a tangent, straight line, and get 2 points from this line, and then use the y2 minus y1. Use this formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and you'll get the gradient. That will be the answer. The answer should be negative 1.18. On to the next question. Okay. Draw the image of shape A after translation by negative 1, 3. Alright, go to each point, and go -1, which is to the left, and then 3 upwards. 1, 2, 3. So here's the first point. Same thing here. 1, 1, 2, 3. That's the second point. Same thing here. 1, 1, 2, 3. That's the third and fourth. 1, 1, 2, 3. Connect the lines, and you get your shape after translation. Right. Now shape A after rotating through 180 degrees about the point, about the center, which is here. Now imagine a clock arm, like so, which rotates 90 degrees anti-clockwise. It doesn't matter if it's clockwise or anti-clockwise because it's 180. So when you rotate it, it will be like this. One more time. It will look like this. So now this is the first point. Do the same thing here. Rotate it. It will be something like this. Rotate it again. It's going to be something like this. That's the second point. And so on until you get this shape. -5. Connect the lines. And that's your shape after rotation. Now shape A after transformation represented by the matrix 1, 0, 0, -1. So what you do here is basically you get the coordinates of this shape. You write them down like this. 2, 2. Second one, 2, 1. Third one, 3, 2. And then you multiply this by the matrix, which is 1, 0, 0, -1. Again, 1, 0, 0, -1. 1, 0, 0, -1. And you get your answer. What you will get is 2, -2. That's the first one. Second one, 2, -1. The last one is 3, -2. Now this is the new coordinates of the new shape. You write 2, -2. 2, -2. That's the first point. 2, -1. Second point. 3, -2. 3, -2. Somewhere here. So based on this shape, you will know that the fourth point is here. Or you can do just the same thing with the fourth point. Fourth point is 5, 1. Same thing, times 1, 0, 0, -1. And you'll get 5, -1. That's the last point. 5, -1. Connect the points. And that's your last shape. Now describe fully the single transformation that maps shape A onto shape B. Where is that? Shape B is right here. That's enlargement. Alright, so how will you know the scale factor in the center? You will basically draw a straight line from this point to its identical point, which is right here, and from this point to this point, using a ruler, of course. From this point to that point, from this point to that point. Now from this, what we know is the center is here, is -1. That's the center. So you mean 1. And the scale factor is basically -3. -3. So what you write here is enlargement. Scale factor equals -3. Center is 1, 0. Alright, find the matrix which represents the transformation that maps shape A onto shape C. Shape A into shape C. So, what maps shape A into shape C? That should be a rotation. So basically, what to memorize these reflection, these matrices, memorize them under descriptions. That's the only way to solve questions like that. It will be 0, -1, 1, 0. Now sets. 30 students were asked, they had a bicycle, mobile phone, and a computer. The results are shown in the Venn diagram. Now work out the value of x. So we do know that the total number is 30. So all we have to do is just add them all together and equate them to 30. Plus x, plus 1, plus 7, plus 6, plus 3, plus 2 equals 30. Now simplify that and you will get x equals 5. Use set notation to describe the shaded region in the Venn diagram. That's M intersection C. And now find the number of C intersection M union B not. So first, where's M union B not? These. So you cancel them. And then intersection C, which is this is the what they're talking about. Now they want you to know the number. So the number is basically 3. So that's one. That's 3. And now a student is chosen at random. Write down the probability that the student is a member of set M naught. Now just count the outside of M, which is 2. The most, which is 2, 1, 3, and 2. That's 7, 8. 8 over 30. And the total number is 30, so 8 over 30. That's the probability, 8 over 30. Now write down the probability that the student has a bicycle. So they want this, 4, 2, 1, and 7. 8, 12, 14. 14 over 30. You can simplify it if you want. I think it's okay if you don't. Doesn't really matter. It's 7 over 15. Alright, last question. That 2 students are chosen at random from the students who have computers. Find the probability that each of these students has a mobile phone but no bicycle. Each of these students has a mobile phone but no bicycle. Alright, you go to the students who have a computer, which are these. Sorry. These. 1, 7, 6, and 3. In total, that's 4, 11, 17. 17 have a computer. That's the total number. And now they want to know 2 students, not 1, chosen at random. Find the probability that each of these students has a mobile phone but no bicycle. Mobile phone but no bicycle. So 7 and 6 have a mobile phone but no bicycle. So what you do is start with 6. First one, 6 over 17, total number of people who have a computer, times, that's the first student. The second, because they said 2 students. The second is 5, because we already took 1, so what's left is 5. Same goes here, because we already took 1, what's left is 16. That's the second student. Now we multiply both fractions and you get 15 over 136. That's your answer. On to the next question, question 5. Andre stands on level horizontal ground 294 meters from the foot of a vertical tower which is 55 meters high. So what we learned from this is that there is a tower here, it's 55 meters. and Andre stands somewhere 294 meters away. Here stands Andre. So basically this is a triangle. This is an angle of depression and elevation question. So what they want here is the angle of elevation, which is this angle, x. Let's name it x. Now this is 294 meters. This is really easy because you already have two sides, and it's a right angle triangle. You can use just sine, tan, or cosine to find this. So what you're going to use here is opposite over adjacent tan. Use tan x to find this. Tan x equals opposite over adjacent, which is 55, over 294. And that would equal 0.187. And then in order to find x, you'll take 10 to the other side, 0.187, and you'll get 10.6 degree. And remember here, make sure that your calculator is not on radian mode, it's on degrees to find this answer, to find the answer, 2.6 degrees. And now this is an angle of elevation question, but if they asked you for the angle of depression, this is the angle of depression. This is the angle of depression. Anyways, now for the next question. Andre walks a distance of x meters directly towards the tower. The angle of elevation of the top tower is now 24.8. Now they gave you the angle, and you probably, now let's draw the triangle again. 55, it didn't change, the tower height didn't change, so 55 meters high. But what did change is that Andre walked towards the tower. That means that the distance is decreased down. So it should be something like this. And we know that this angle is 24.8 degrees. And now they want to find this x. So how to do that? Basically use tan again. Tan 24.8 equals opposite over adjacent, which is x, and then work it out. So basically tan 24.8 sorry is 0.462, and you multiply both sides by x, so it should be 0.462 equals x equals 55. And now divide 0.462 from both sides, 462, to find x. And x would equal 119 meters. But pay attention here. The question doesn't want this distance. They want to know the distance that Andre walked. So the previous distance was around somewhere here, right? 294 meters. And this is 119 meters. And now they want to find this distance. This distance. This is the real x, this one. How to find this distance? You basically minus 294 meters minus 119 meters. And that would give you 175 meters. That's your answer. Alright, next question. The diagram shows a pyramid with a horizontal rectangular base. Right, the height is 4 meters, 4.8 and 3. Okay, now they want to find y, which is the sloping edge of the pyramid. How would you do that? So basically, you just draw a right angle triangle, which is this one. So right angle triangle with a height of 4, but then we don't know this, which is this. How would you find this? We can use the Pythagoras theorem to find this whole thing. To find this whole thing, and then divide by 2 just to find this one. Alright, you can do that because this is basically a triangle as well, a right angle triangle, because they said it's a rectangular base. So 4.8 square plus 3 square should equal, let's name this what, x, should equal x square. So x is 5.66. Alright, now we're going to divide that by 2 because we only want this one right here. Sorry. We want this one right here. So x, 5.66 divided by 2. That would equal 2.83. Now we know that, so use the Pythagoras theorem again to find y. 4 square plus 2.83 square equals y square. Y is 4.899. Now around that it should be 4.9 meters. The angle between the sloping edge and the rectangular base of the pyramid. Now they want to find this angle right here, which is this angle. Easy because we already found the all sides of the angle, all sides of the triangle. So let's draw the triangle just to make it clear. The height is 4. And the hypotenuse we already found, it's 4.9. And now we want to find the angle x. So this is a right angle triangle, right? So we can just use the sine. Opposite over hypotenuse, just 4. Sine x equals 4 over 4.9. So x is, sine x is 0.8164. Now in order to find x, take sine to the other side. And the answer would be 54.7 degrees. That's the answer. On to the next question. The table shows the time, t minutes, that 400 people take to complete a test. Write down the model time interval. So obviously the model time interval is between 24 to 30 because it's the greatest number. 135 is the highest number here. Frequency, that means it's the times it's repeated times. So it's this one, 24 to 30. Now calculate an estimate of the mean time to complete the test. So in order to do that, we have to find the average time for each. And how to find the average time? You basically add the first and the second, divide them by 2. So 0 plus 10 divided by 2 is 5. 10 plus 24 divided by 2 is 17. And 24 plus 30 divided by 2 is 27. And then 30 plus 40 divided by 2 is 35. 40 plus 60 divided by 2 is 50. 60 plus 70 divided by 2 is 65. Now we know the average times. Then multiply the average time by the frequency and add them all together. Then divide all by 400, which is the total number of people. And that's how you can find the mean time. So basically 5 times 10 plus 17 times 90 plus 27 times 135 plus 35 times 85 plus 50 times 70 plus 65 times 10. And now divide all that by 400. And you get the answer, which is 30.875. That's the answer. So around that should be 30.9. So complete the cumulative frequencies. So cumulative frequencies is basically this plus this, which is 100, and then 100 plus 135, which is 235, and then 235 plus 85, which is 320, and then 320 plus 70, you get 390, and then 390 plus 10, 400. But on the grid opposite, draw cumulative frequency diagram. So basically all you do, just plot the graph, plot the points that you found just now, and you will get something like this. Wait a second. It's something like, starting from 10, something like this. That's how it will look like. Now use the graph to estimate the median time. So how would you do that? The median time is basically, this is 400, right? Half 100 divided by 2 is 200. So you see where 200 is, and then draw a line, dotted line, to where the graph is, and then draw a dotted line from the graph to the time, and you'd get the answer, which is 28. Of course, I didn't get it here because the graph is wrong, but then you should get the right answer, 28. Find the interquartile range, you have to find the upper quartile and the lower quartile first. So how to find those? So what we know here is the cumulative frequency is 400. Divide 400 by 4 to find the quarter. It's 100. So basically, this is the first quarter, 100. And that is the lower quartile. Let's name this lower quartile. Lower. And then plus 100 again, that's 200, this is the median. And then plus 100 again, 300. That's the upper quartile. Then from 400, you draw a straight line onto the time, and you get it. Now basically, they want the interquartile range, which is this range right here. This is what they want. So you minus, what the lower quartile would be, no, the upper quartile would be 37.5 minus 0.5, 24. And that would equal 13 minutes. So that's your answer, 30 minutes. Or that's 0.15 times 400, and you'd get 60. And now 60, you go to the cumulative frequency diagram, that 60 should be somewhere around here. Yeah, somewhere around here. Something like that. You draw a straight line until 20. That's your answer, 20. 20 minutes. And now the number of people who took more than 50. So more than 50, you go to 50. You go to where there are 50 people. And you draw a straight line. Draw a straight line. Then connect that to the graph. You get 360. And now they want the number of people, so basically all I have to do is minus 400. 400 minus 360, and that would be 40. That's the number of people that took more than 50 minutes. Right, on to the next question. Question 7a, easy. The triangle 7.6, blah, 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 blah. Calculate PQ. They want this. So PQ, you basically use the cosine rule. Use the cosine rule and you find the answer. You don't have to do anything out of the ordinary. So cosine rule, PQ square 8.4 square plus 7.6 square minus 2 8.4 7.6 cosine 62 cosine 62, and then what you get here is 128.32 minus 59.942. For the sake of accuracy, make sure that you leave a lot of decimals in the working. Just round at the end, don't round while you're working. So what PQ would equal the square root of 68.378. Because we took out the square, there was the square root on both sides, the square root here, so what's left is PQ. So PQ equals 8.269 centimeters. So that's the answer. 8.27. Rounded to 2 decimal places. The area of the triangle PQI. So for this one, just use the formula for the area of triangle, which is half the sides, the two sides, which is 8.4, 7.6, and then sine the angle between them, which is 62. That would equal 28.1836 centimeters square. So you round it and you get 28.2. And now to this, the diagram shows the position of 3 small islands, G, H, and J. The bearing of H from G is 45. From G, so you go to G, H is 45. And then the bearing of J from G, which is the same thing, but then this one is 126. So 126. And then the bearing of J from H, which is this one, is 164 degrees. Then the distance HJ is 63 kilometers. Calculate the distance GJ, which is this distance. So first, we need to find the angles inside the triangle. How do we do that? Easy, because we have now 45 and 126. So basically, if you minus 126 minus 45, you will get this angle right here. So 126 minus 45, you'll get 126 minus 45, you'll get 81. And then 45. You extend this line right here. So what we see here is Z, right? So this angle should equal this angle right here, 45 degrees. Because they call it congruent angles, I don't remember, but then they are equal. There are rules that says that they are equal. So 45. And then here, this is 180, right? This should be 180, because it's a straight line. And we know that this is 164. We can find this easily by 180 minus 164. That would give you 16. So basically this angle is 16. So how to find this angle right here? This angle, 45 plus 16. 45 plus 16 is 61. So what we know is this angle is 61 degrees and this angle is 81 degrees. Now we have two angles on one side. We can use the sine rule, which says sine the angle, which is 61, over GJ, the opposite side. The angle over the opposite side, GJ, equals sine another angle, which is 81, over its opposite side, which is 63 kilometers, Now let's find GJ. You can easily do that just working this thing out. Sine 81 over 63 should equal 0.156. And then gonna multiply both sides by GJ to get rid of the denominator. So GJ is equal to sine 61. And so sine 61, what you left is divide GJ, divide 0.156 both sides just to leave GJ alone. 0.156 both sides. So to get this, GJ would equal sine 61 over 0.156, which is 56.1 kilometers. That's the answer. Now on to the second page, question 8. Jamil, Kira and Luther collect badges. Jamil has X badges, Kira has 12 badges more than Jamil. So basically, let's just give them shortcuts. J for Jamil, K, Kira, and L, Luther. Jamil is X. Kira has 12 badges more than Jamil, so it's X plus 12. And as for Luther, Luther has 3 times as many badges as Kira. So it's 3x plus 12. Altogether, they have 123. So altogether, it equals 123 badges. So they want us to find the value of x. Pretty easy. So all you have to do is x plus 12 plus expand the bracket 3x. 3 times 12, 36. 36 equals 123. So simplify that and you get x equals 15. Or sorry, let me show you how to simplify it. You end up with 5x plus 48, which equals 123. And then take 48 to the other side and divide by 5. And you'd get x equals 15. Of course, in the exam, don't skip steps like I do right here. You have to write down all the steps. Just in case you get something wrong, you don't get the whole question wrong. They give you some marks. So for this inequalities, you separate them. 4t plus 7 less than 39. That's one inequality. And then the other side, put 39 less than or equal to 7t plus 2. Now let's work out this alone. So 4t, 39 minus 7. 39 minus 7 is 32. Divide by 4, divide by 4. And you'd get t is less than 8. Now we're done with this one, so let's go to the other one. Take 2 to the other side. You will be left with 37 less than 70. Divide 7 both sides. And you get t less than or equal to 5.285. Now you have these two inequalities. How to rather start them together. But then pay attention here. They want the integer values. They don't want the inequality. They just want values. So basically, you write down integer. That means they don't want decimals. So basically, it's 6 and 7. That's what they want. Because it says here less than 8, so 8 is not included. So only 6 and 7. And now solve the following equation. Solve it. Multiply x minus 3 from both sides. You'll end up with x plus 3, 21 minus x, 4x plus 12. And then put x on the same side and 12 on the other side. So I end up with 3x equals, take this one over there, 5x. 5x equals 9. Divide both sides by 5. X would equal 1.8. These questions are basically 3 marks, so make sure you don't waste them. Alright, for this question, show all your working, correct two decimal places, what they say, they give you a quadratic equation and they say correct two decimal places, the first thing that should come to your mind is a quadratic formula, which is negative b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac over 2a. So let's substitute the values. Negative b, which is negative 7, plus or minus square root of 7 square minus 4ac is negative 5 over 2, 3. So you simplify it and you'll end up with simplify, and you'll end up with this negative 7 plus or minus square root of 109 over 6. And now you have to solve it twice, one time positive and one time negative. So 109, this is the positive, over 6, and then here negative. X should equal, and then x should equal 0.7557. They want two decimal places, so 57, and then negative 2.91. Those are your answers. So this, right, diameter of a circle is a tangent. Alright, find the value of x. They want this x. So basically, let's find this angle first. How would you find that? This is a right angle, so 90 minus 48 should give you the angle, which is 42. So this is 42. If this is 42, x should also equal 42. Why is that? Because both angles share the same arc, which is 42. X equals 42. See, this angle and this angle share the same arc. So now they want to find y. So this is the same thing. So let's find this angle first. C. C should equal B because they both share the same arc right here. So this is 27 degrees. Now we know y, we know x, 42, and we know C, which is 27, and then minus all by 180 to find y, because the sum of all angles in a triangle equals 180, right? So that should equal 111. And that is the value of the angle y. So don't forget the units, degrees. Alright, for this one, the diagram shows a shaded formed by three semicircular arcs. Right now they just want the perimeter. They want this, that, and this. So let's just name this semicircles. Let's say that this is 1, this is 2, and this is 3, so that we don't get confused while solving. So let's start with semicircle. Circle 1. How to find the perimeter for this? Usually to find the perimeter of the whole circle, you use the formula 2 pi r. But for this, because it's a semicircle, you don't have to multiply by 2. So just pi times r, which is the radius here, 4. And that would give you 12.566. And now to semicircle 2. Same thing, pi times r. The r here is 6 centimeters. That would equal 18.849 centimeter, don't forget the units. And then for semicircle, blah blah blah, 3. Same thing, pi times r, which is 2, 6.23. 283, sorry, centimeter. Now you have the all perimeters, add them all together, this plus this plus this, and you will get in the end 37.698. 37.698. Round them, 37.7. That's your answer. Now for this one, the shaded shape is made from a metal 1.6 millimeter thick. Calculate the volume. So they want the volume. And how to calculate the volume of a shape like this? A prism, they call it. How to calculate the volume of a prism? Basically, the cross-sectional area, volume equals cross-sectional area times the height. The height, it says here 1.6 millimeters. And now to find the cross-sectional area. So area, which is basically the area. The area of the total area is, let's start with the semicircle one, pi r square over 2 r square. But then pay attention here, the units here are in centimeter and the height is in millimeter, and they want the final answer in volume in cubic millimeters. So you have to convert the centimeters to millimeters. So it's basically 40 millimeters square over 2 plus, this is a semicircle 1, the shaded region, plus semicircle 3, the area of semicircle 3, semicircle 2, this area, but minus this area, because it's not shaded. So we're going to find the area of semicircle 2 minus the area of semicircle 3, which is pi 60 square over 2 minus pi 20 square over 2, and then the answer would be 7,539.8 millimeters square. That's the area, but then they want the volume. So the cross-sectional area times the height, which is 7,539.8 times 1.6, that would equal 12063.715 millimeter cube. Round that and you get 12100. Significant figure. Red scale factor, blah blah. Find the actual length. How would you find the actual length of road BC? You can simply just write the scale that they said 5,000, 1 to 5,000, and then you get your ruler, measure in centimeter, and then you write what you measured here. Let's say it's x, and then find BC, the actual length BC. You cross multiply, and you'll get. You'll get the thing. Multiply the height you found in your ruler times 5,000, divide by 1, you find BC. Okay. Blah blah. I'm not gonna do that. You guys do it. It's easy. All you have to do is just draw on that thing. Okay. For this one, make x the subject of the formula. You simply make it the subject formula. What you do is AT minus xt. You multiply t by all, which equals xr, and then you move xr with xt with xr. You end up with AT, which equals xr plus xt, and then you take AT, you take x as a common, r plus t. You divide both sides by r plus t to leave x alone. AT over r plus t. That's the answer. AT over r plus t. Right, for now, find the value of A and the value of B Okay, now there are two unknowns in one equation. What does that mean? That when you see something like this, you straight away know that this is a comparing question. You have to compare both sides. So in order to do that, x squared minus 16x plus a equals, expand this. How to expand it? X squared, then for the middle term 2x plus times b, which will be 2bx, and then b squared plus b squared. And now compare x squared equals x squared, the quality, the variant here, x squared, and then here minus 16 should equal 2b, and a should equal b squared. Now work this out. Divided by 2, divided by 2, b should equal negative 8. And then you substitute here, a should equal negative 8 squared, which is 64. A is 64 and b is minus 8. And now for this one, write a single fraction in simplest form. All you have to do is just multiply both denominators by each other, like so. And then here 6 multiplied by 3x minus 2, then minus 5x minus 4. Expand both, and you'll get 18x minus 12 minus 5x plus 20 over x minus 4, 3x minus 2. And then one more time, you'll end up with 13x plus 8 over x minus 4 over 3x minus 2. That's all. 13x plus 8 over x plus 4. That's the answer. X minus 2. Alright, thanks for watching.